Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. Meguiar's Mirror Glaze 9, Professional Swirl Remover 2.0. This is one of the rare ones I haven't had on the channel. We've reviewed 105, 205, the cleaner polish, the ultra cut, and the ultimate line. And this is one we just haven't reviewed. It's been out for a long time. It's been out for years, but I believe it's important to review it because it's something that can be picked up locally and for a great price. So if this is even half effective, it's something to keep in mind. $15 locally, but if you could buy locally, you can normally get a discount, wait for a sale, or use your bonus rewards and get it for under $10. Here we have a test panel. Many layers of imperfections, from sand marks, 5,000, 3,000 grit, all the way down to 800 grit, and under that are very deep scratches. You could team up numerous pads with the polish. Microfiber cut pads, 50/50, polish foam pads, one-step foam pads, and even these finishing pads. So for this demonstration, we're going to team up the Swirl Remover 2.0 with a one-step foam pad attached to a polisher that has a 15mm throw. And here we're going to take a look at the numbers behind the dullness inside the test area. And these numbers are pathetic. We will turn that around with the Swirl Remover. I can demonstrate what it can do and its limitations. The earlier compounds, like 105, 205, I just do not use around the shop. They cause more work than anything else with their dusting. This here has a ton of polishing oils and will not dust. You can't feel abrasives, so they are definitely fine abrasives. I'm not sure exactly what abrasives they use nowadays, but I'm anxious to show you what this can do. Doesn't really matter what correction fluid you use, shake it up vigorously. They have a nice, thick, rich formula you need to mix together to be effective. Load up, prime your pad, and let's get to work. We're going to do a crisscross pattern. We're going to put the polisher on just the 3rd speed setting. So we're not going to have the polisher screaming. We're not going to have a ton of pressure, just something equal to a firm handshake, if that makes sense. And the polisher will move at correction speed, an inch every second or two. Okay, that was equal to 2 passes. You could take your time. It has a long cycle time or open time with very little dusting. Not completely void of dusting, but very little dusting. And that is completely different to some of their other earlier compounds. Wipe off. Very important. Even if you're working outside in direct sunlight, this is easy to wipe off. So can be economical to pick up depending on where you find it and if there's any sales or if you have any discounts or rewards. Easy to use, long cycle time, easy to wipe off. So far, so good, right? So being result driven, let's get to the point, remove the masking tape and see what this has been able to do when it comes to improvement. Now, we know it has its limitations and can't remove everything from the panel, and we wouldn't want to cut that deep into the clear coat anyway. So when we bring you in, we can see the 3,000 to 5,000 grit sand marks completely gone and finished down. The 1,500, the 2,500 to 2,000 grit, they were pretty much removed. It's the heavier sand marks and the very deep marks underneath that were left behind. So a pretty decent turnaround with just a crisscross pattern with hardly any effort, I would say. And now we have a deep, rich gloss with the red metallic flake peeking through, shining through. And again, the only thing left behind were the real deep sand marks and also scratches. We do want to remove any of the polish oils to see if they are masking any of the sand marks, so let's use our panel prep and then come in and take a look. Still looking very good, so no intentional fillers. An obvious jump in gloss, but let's get some numbers behind what we are seeing with the gloss meter here. Let's really push this to the limits and see what it can do. You can match it with pads up and down the aggression scale. Let's get a little bit more aggressive and get a pad that has more cutting fibers, like the Eurofiber pad here. And we'll take off that foam pad, swap them out, and we'll get back to work on these heavy sand marks. Again, 2,500 grit all the way down to, on the right side, 800 grit sand marks. And it's really difficult for a lot of polishes out there to remove the 800 and 1,000 grit sand marks, but let's see if we can make at least an improvement. Just one trip from the 2,500 grit to the 800 grit section and a return trip. We'll wipe off the residue and take a look at our progress. Pros and cons as we wipe off the residue and come in for a closer look. Economical, depending on when and where you get it. User-friendly, Easy to wipe off, long cycle time or open time, very little dusting. Now, it's not quite as aggressive, especially if you need to be aggressive on harder clear coat or deep imperfections, but maybe that's a good thing and will keep you out of trouble. I believe I'll go ahead and give this an 8 out of 10 on the channel. And again, no need to put a link down below. You can find it locally, AutoZone, Walmart, local auto stores. Take care, guys.